Dear students, welcome to the next lecture video. Before moving to the lecture number 4, let us take a quick recap on the flowchart symbols that we have discussed in the lecture number 3, that is the last class. So here we have come across all these common shapes that are used for flowchart. The first is the start or stop. The next is the input, processing, preparation or precipitation, also called as used for looping. The next is used for decision making statements. We will be discussing in the upcoming chapter how the decision making statements will help us. Predefined functions, connectors from one stage to another stage, arrow marks depicting the flow from different parts of the program where it is moving, whether left or right or any other. So let us begin the lecture number 4, problem solving methodologies. So in the problem solving methodology lecture number 4, let us take an example and see how the flowchart has to be written. This flowchart is for finding sum of two numbers. So basically the algorithm, when you write, you say step number 1 start, step number 2 input a comma b, step number 3 c is equals to a plus b, step number 4 display c or display sum of a plus b is c, and then you will say n. So like this, all these steps need to be represented by the help of certain shapes or certain diagram. So you see the start is been represented by a vowel that we have discussed in the last class. So start and stop, that is beginning and ending, is been represented by the vowel. So I'll write the shape for the vowel and inside it I'll write it start, and for input and output purpose I'll be using a parallelogram. So input a comma b. Then for the processing I'll use a rectangle. So processing is nothing but finding the sum of two numbers, that is c is equals to a plus b. So addition of two numbers is been found. So after adding two numbers we need to display the result. So see, after each step there is an arrow indicating where it is flowing. From the start it is flowing to input, from the input it is flowing to calculation or processing, from the processing it is flowing to the output or the display. After the results is been displayed or all the steps have finished, then we will stop the flow or stop the program. That is the end of the flowchart or the program. So have it and draw it neatly once so that you get familiar with the flowchart. The next thing that we will be discussing, we are going to take another example for the flowchart. So design a flowchart and an algorithm to find area of a rectangle. So what we are doing, we are going to find, or we are going to write both algorithm as well as a flowchart to find area of a rectangle. So before moving to the flowchart, you need to write the algorithm. So algorithm is the first process of solving a problem. Next, the pictorial representation of the algorithm is been represented by the flowchart. So very first step, step number 1 start. So the area of the rectangle, the formula that you can recall is length into breadth. So we need to get the input of the length and breadth to calculate the area of the rectangle. So in the step number 2, we are taking length and breadth as input. In the step number 3, we are going to calculate the area. So area is equals to, we will put the formula length into breadth. So multiplication symbol is like this in the computer, not the cross symbol. Okay. So length into breadth, after calculating, will display the result, that is output area or print area. Both are same. Then all the steps have come to an end. So step number 5 or the step number n will be end of the algorithm. So the same we will be putting into the flowchart. So see, The step number 1, which is indicating start, is represented by the vowel start. The step number 2, which is input or output, are being represented by the parallelogram that you see. So input, length, comma, breadth. Then the arrow mark is indicating the flow of logic of the program. So after length and breadth is taken input, we will move to the calculation part. Area is equals to length into breadth. So after that, the arrow mark indicates the flow. Then print area we are going to print. That is, after the result is been calculated, that is area of the rectangle is been calculated, we will be printing the area. So the last step is the end, which is represented by the vowel. So this is how the simple flowcharts need to be drawn. So now you have come across algorithms in the very first and the second lecture. So try to solve all the algorithms to the or convert to the flowchart and see how they are going to look or work. So the very much important question for the lecture from the lecture number 3 is 2-mark question. Mention any 2 diagrams used in the flowchart. Because the syllabus is reduced to, we cannot say how many marks of weightage the chapter will be. So you need to read the entire contents of the chapters. Now next is another example. We are going to find area and circumference of the circle. The area of the circle has a formula pi r square, that is pi into radius, and circumference formula is 2 pi r, okay, that is 2 multiplied by pi value multiplied by radius. So let us begin. So first you will start, then the flow will move to the input. In the input we will take the value of the radius. The radius is written as RAD in our flow chart. So any names you can give, whatever names you are taking, that name should be followed throughout the program. You cannot change, okay, again and again throughout the program. So once RAD is written, so RAD instead of radius you have written. So everywhere the radius names are in the formula, if it appears, then you should give it as RAD. So area is equals to 3.142 into radius, that is r into r. Circumference is equals to 2 into 3.142, that is the value of the pi, okay, multiplied by radius. So directly we are placing the value of radius. Instead you can even write 22 by 7, which would solve to 3.142 and blah blah blah, the last digits unknown still. So this is the formula, that is processing is been done in the rectangle. So the input is been taken in the parallelogram. The output is given in the parallelogram. So output, what we are going to do, area and circumference. It has been capitalized. You can make it as capitalized or lower everywhere. So the case sensitivity also does matter. So this is how the flowchart will look like. Then again, after the displaying of the result, we will be moving to the stop or ending the flow of the program. The next another thing we are going to discuss is to interchange 2 values. Now suppose A has one value, B has another value. So let us consider the example. A is equals to 5 and B is equals to 10. Swapping or interchanging is nothing but whatever the value of B is there should be given to A. Whatever A value is there should be given to B. That means in our case, if you have considered an example, A is equals to 5 and B is equals to 10, the value A should be equal to 10 and B should be equal to 5. That is called as interchanging the values of 2 variables. Now 2 variables here are A and B. Those we have taken input to start. In the input we have taken A and B value. We have assumed it as A as 5 and B as 10. So another variable, we are using a third variable, the name of the third variable is temp, used to store the value temporarily. Temp is equals to A. What is the value of A? 5. 5 is given to whom? Temp. So now the value of temp is equals to 5. This is how the programming works. The value that is there at the right hand side will be given to the left hand side variable. The left hand side is considered as a variable or a data item, not the value. So here you cannot consider it as a value, you consider at the right hand side as a value. Similarly, in the second statement, you cannot consider A as a value, instead you can consider B as a value. So A is equals to B. What is the value of B? B is equals to 10. 10 is given to A. Now what is the value of A? A is equals to 10. One value has been changed already. Now B is equals to 10. Temp value was given in the first step as 5. So B will become 5. So we have successfully interchanged, okay, the value of A and B. Let us see. If you have not understood, we will take an example and we will write. So the value of A is equals to 5. The value of B is equals to 10. Now the very first statement, according to this, temp, I'll write it in short, temp is equals to A. What is the value of A? A value is 5. So temp gets the value 5. That is the very first statement. The second statement, it is interpreted as A is equals to B. What is the value of B? B value is 10. So what is the new value of A? The new value of A is not 5, it is now 10. The very next statement that I have is B is equals to temp. What is the value of temp? Temp value is equals to 5. So B is equals to 5. Okay. Now the new value of B is not 10, it is 5. Now see, you have interchanged the value which was 5 and 10. Now it is 10 and 5. That is when you output, you will get a display on the screen as 10. Okay, and 5, the value of A and B, that is called as the interchanging of two numbers. Okay, so after that the program will stop. So this is how we will be working with the algorithms. Okay, variable concept, we will be seeing how they are going to be implemented. So some of the questions that you need to solve it in your home as an assignment. So very first question is, you need to design a flowchart and an algorithm to find area of a square. Find the formula for area of a square, okay, and do it. The next thing is design flowchart and algorithm to find the difference, that is subtraction of two numbers. Okay, we have done addition of two numbers in the beginning, that is C is equals to A plus B. Similarly, you have to change certain things and modify it. Okay, send it to my WhatsApp number. So the next question is design a flowchart and an algorithm to convert the temperature from the Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, from the Fahrenheit it should be converted to the Celsius. Hint I have given for the question number 3. The formula for converting Fahrenheit to the Celsius is C, being Celsius, is equals to 5.0 divided by 9.0. F is the temperature in Fahrenheit minus 32. Okay, C and F are denoting temperature in Fahrenheit and Celsius. So you need not to take the input in the Celsius, you need to take input in the Fahrenheit and you are going to calculate the temperature in the Celsius. Okay, input is only one variable, you can take input as CF or input as Fahrenheit and calculate or substitute the value and then find the temperature in the Celsius, okay, and send it to my WhatsApp number. This is your assignment. Okay, very immediately you have to send me after listening to the lecture video. Okay, so this is how the flowchart needs to be drawn. So be perfect with the algorithm and flowchart, that is carrying very important, okay, concept, and it will be taken to the upcoming classes also, but will not be dealing in detail. We'll be directly moving to the programming where you need to write the algorithm and the flowchart for everything. Okay, so let us finish the concept of flowchart with the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages of flowcharts are: flowcharts provide an excellent means of communication. So it is the medium how the program is going to execute or how the flow is going to take place. So it is excellent medium of communication, which is very easy to understand with the flow or the arrow marks or the different shapes that we will be using. It has got certain definite procedures, shapes, which shows how the major parts of the program, okay, are going to work, or it is easy to convert it into the programming language, whatever programming language you want. Okay, that's the advantages. And the next advantage is it is an independent. This doesn't depend on any programming language. So independent of programming language, and it is easy to remove the errors. Identification and removing the errors is easy. So it is easy to debug, as every step has got its own logic or the procedures. Okay, now you see when we started with, okay, we kept on start, input, and then we move for certain things. Okay, that is customization, or certain statements have to be written. Disadvantage of the flowchart: it is time consuming because you need to convert algorithm into flowchart and requires, okay, uses of number of symbols which are to be, okay, properly represented or properly drawn. The represented of complex logic is difficult in the flowchart. You cannot use for the object oriented programming, which we'll be discussing in the first year little, and the second year implementation will be done. Okay, alternation and the modification can be only made by redrawing the entire flowchart. You cannot add certain things in between after the flowchart is been drawn. So entire flowchart has to be rebuilt if there are any modification or changes. Okay, the next class will discuss about the pseudocodes. Thank you.